Hey, how's it going? Josh here from Tech with Josh, and this is episode number 19 of Tech with Josh. This episode is titled RCS to iOS. Let's get started. What is RCS and what is iOS? iOS is iPhone OS, iPad OS, basically anything Apple related. But RCS stands for Rich Communication Services. Why is that important? Well, I'm going to tell you why. But the other day, technically 2 days ago from recording this episode, Nothing, the phone manufacturer, said, hey, guys, get on Nothing Phone too, because through our Nothing chat app, you can use iMessage via Sunbird. What is Sunbird? What does this mean? Nothing, are they making iPhones? No, they're an Android phone manufacturer. But Sunbird offers a service that they have you log into your iCloud account or you create one, and they have you go through a Mac Mini server farm. So log you in on one of these Mac Minis in this server farm, and your messages get routed through there to your phone via the Nothing chat app. It sounds great in theory, but is it secure? You don't know who has access to these Mac Minis. You don't know where the server farm is. It's not really encrypted if it's coming from the server farm to Sunbird to your app through Nothing. So Nothing did this because they're like, hey, Apple's not going to say anything because they're already in hot water with the European Union. So let's do it. And it's always better to ask for forgiveness than permission, as the saying goes. And today we got a response technically. Because as of recording this podcast today, earlier today, Apple stated that in 2024, they will adopt RCS. 2 years ago, Tim Cook said this was on the agenda. So now we're adopting it, which might not sound like a big deal. It kind of is and isn't. If you have an iPhone, you know that iMessage is blue and to text Android is green. That's how it's always been. And if you have an Android phone and you've ever been in a group chat with people with iPhones, you know group chats suck. You can't leave them. Whenever somebody emphasizes something, you get another notification, the same message comes up. It's the whole thing. But now that won't happen because RCS allows you to essentially have the same type of communication as iMessage. So your pictures won't look like they're coming from a flip phone from 2007 anymore, which is a thing if you send a text message to an iPhone user with a MMS picture or video, you get more data for that. Also, it goes through Wi-Fi. So it doesn't have to go through cellular connection, which doesn't sound like a lot. But in certain instances, you don't have cell service. And if you try to send a text, it won't go through because iOS to Android doesn't have RCS. iMessage will go through on straight Wi-Fi only. And guess what? You can leave that group chat because you can't do that with having an Android phone right now with an iMessage group chat. But the biggest key feature that nobody's talking about, read receipts. You can know somebody read your messages. No. But kidding aside, this is a big step because Apple's opening up their ecosystem. We all know Apple's has a security platform. They always boast about security, privacy, and keeping your information on your device. They don't have any other app stores. You can't really sideload without jailbreaking your phone or going through web apps, things like that. But now they had USB-C on all of their major devices except for Magic Keyboard, Magic Mouse, Trackpad, basically any Mac accessories. They hate us, but that's because of the European Union. But now RCS, even though it's not the full RCS that Google's trying to push them to use, is carrier dependent. It's a uniform texting experience, no matter what device you're using, essentially. Soon, it's not yet, like I said, it's 2024, but they're saying late 2024. We shall see how they're going to do it probably in iOS 18. Because, like my siblings, they have Android, so we use WhatsApp. So we can send uncompressed photos between each other because I have iPhone. Things like that. So you won't have to do that anymore. But you might still want to because of certain things. RCS isn't end-to-end encrypted is the main thing here. So iMessage is end-to-end encrypted. You also have features in iMessage that people will still like, which is you could play games on it through iMessage. In the group chat, I used to play pool all the time with my family. You also can send money through iMessage, stickers, things like that. The cool animation with the fireworks is a good experience. Also, I could pick up my iPad and text people from there because of the iMessage. My Macs. Whenever I go on there, I can access my messages and conversation history right there at my fingertip. Not something that you might have through RCS. So things like that will still make Apple a big player with iMessage. But it won't be the same that you get shunned because you have green bubbles anymore because it'd be similar to iMessage. And that's a big thing in school where kids, they get bullied for having green bubbles at times. Society, I know. But that's it for this episode of Tech with Josh. And if you enjoyed it, thank you. And take a listen to the Books by Josh audio immersion or Mango with Josh. And I'll see you guys in the next one.